Hey YouTube, welcome to Homegrown Outdoors, where we review American-made outdoor gear. Today we look at the Slick Trick. This is the standard 100 grain broadhead. It is early September 2020 as I film this, so I'm watching lots of guys in the West and gals getting out there with their bows for elk and mule deer season openers. Those of us who are a little further east are waiting for the whitetail archery seasons, which here is going to open in early October, but broadheads are on my mind. The Slick Trick Standard has been around for some time, so this is not necessarily something new, but I think it is an awesome product and has been for a long time, so I figured I would tell you a little bit about it today. As I mentioned, this is the standard. Slick Tricks are typically 4-blade designs, as you can see here. So the standard is 1 inch by 1 inch. So you get 2 inches of cutting surface out of a very small package. The Magnum is a little bit larger, 1 1/8. The Grizz Trick is 1 1/4, and then the Viper Trick and Wicked Trick use a bleeder blade type configuration. So you've got your main blade and then the two blades that are perpendicular are a bit shorter. They make a crossbow version, if that's your thing. And they also have the Raptor Trick, which is an over-the-top mechanical. I don't know anything about that one. I haven't sort of ventured off in that direction. That's not what I use Slick Trick for, but the brand overall, very popular. These heads have performed extremely well for a number of years now. Gary Cooper was the guy that invented these things and founded the company. He passed away a few years ago. The Outdoor Group out of New York owns them now and has since 2014. They've got some other archery brands, Scott releases, CBE sites, I think a handful of others. But when this thing came out, it was revolutionary, really. It was sort of the pioneer in the short broadhead. And when I say short, I mean top to bottom this way. So traditional broadheads were a bit more elongated, and I think those longer heads had a tendency to sort of plane or veer off in flight and get difficult to tune and to group and all that stuff. So this short and low profile combination was something new, and he was really on to something, obviously, with this thing still being so popular all these years later. Great accuracy, great dependability, and great blood trails with all that cut. Back when this thing came out, mechanicals, the sort of claim with mechanicals was that you could get field point accuracy. So as long as your bow was reasonably well tuned, you could get a mechanical head to fly well enough for you. The Slick Trick sort of could make that same claim for you in a fixed blade head. Because it was shorter and had this low profile, they fly very well, they group well. So they were able to sort of make a lot of the same claims that mechanical head manufacturers were making, but with the reliability and durability of a fixed blade head. So that's sort of the pitch for Slick Trick. Accuracy for me, so I sort of swap back and forth. I shoot Muzzy Trocar HBs, their hybrid broadhead, and Slick Trick, sort of depending on what I'm doing. I'm going on a bear hunt here in a few weeks. I'll have the Slick Tricks in the quiver for that one for sure. I like a fixed blade on a heavier animal like that. They fly the same for me. They do not fly quite like my field points, just to be honest. I'm not claiming I'm the best shot or the best bow tuner in the country, or that my bow is perfectly tuned and set up. But my field points, I should say the broadheads hit just a little bit low of my field points. So windage-wise, they're identical. But I guess just having a little bit more drag there. At 30 yards, they're probably 2 or 3 inches low. And maybe 4 or 5 inches low at 40. So I do have to make some adjustments with my sight. I shoot a movable sight, so that's easy enough to do. But they group very well. They hit in the exact same spot. So accuracy is there. They just hit a little bit low of my field points, but so do my hybrid slash mechanical type heads. So that it is what it is. Accuracy, I think, is definitely a selling point on the Slick Tricks, particularly for a fixed steel head. So we're going to look at this a little more specifically now. As I mentioned, I've used these for a while. You can see this one has been shot some. It has very likely gone through a deer. It's definitely been in my 3D target. You can see some of the foam there, but that's the ferrule. It's solid steel. It's one piece. There's really nothing to go wrong there. They call it super steel. I don't know what that means, but I will tell you, it is reliable and rugged. I mean, I've shot lots and lots of these things, and I can't remember messing a ferrule up yet. So that's that part, all one piece. The blades, it's Lutz stainless steel blades, and they are sharp and corrosion resistant for sure, being stainless. I'm going to put this together for you. I'll tell you now, it's easier than I'm probably going to make it look because I'm sort of looking through a camera lens as I do it. They call it the Alcatraz locking system. So that side goes in there. And then you bring in your second blade here, maybe trying not to get cut here. So this one just goes in the other side here. Again, this is very easy to do when you're not trying to do it through a camera lens. There we go. So that's that. And then you've got a washer that goes on top here that sort of locks everything together. There we go. I'm not doing Slick Trick any favors with my assembly work here, but it's been said that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and I think Mr. Cooper was probably a fan of that saying, because that's what he's got with this head. Really just nothing to go wrong. The ferrule is all one piece, super tough steel, stainless steel blades that lock together. If you don't have a lot of experience with broadheads, that is something, by the way. I can remember shooting thunderheads back in the day. Thunderheads are great, killed lots of deer with them. But if you didn't get that thing back together just right, the blades would want to come loose on you or fall out on you and sort of give you fits. So that's not going to happen. I mean, there's really only one way that these Slick Tricks can go together, and once they do, it's over. They're all locked in place. That's what the 1x1 inch standard looks like from the front. So gnarly in their early marketing materials. I can remember them talking about slug holes in animals that you would shoot with this head, and that's pretty accurate. I mean, a 1 inch by 1 inch cut is pretty significant. The blood trails that I've seen out of these things have always been great. So that is the sort of skinny on the Slick Trick Standard 100. Is it made in America? If you go to their website, they have a Made in the USA badge on there. I reached out and they confirmed that the ferrules are 100% machined in the US, so that one-piece ferrule is machined in America. The blades are imported from Germany, which they don't hide, and nor should they. I mean, German blades have got great reputation, and these are solid and real sharp. So they're honest about that, and they've got a great product there. But the ferrules are made in the U.S. Company's based out of New York, so I suspect all the packaging and whatnot is done there. So that is the Made in America story. The specifics on the standard on this one that we're looking at, they offered an 85, 100, and 125 grain versions. The 100 and 125s use 0.035 inch blade thickness. The 85 grain goes to a bit skinnier blade to try to shave some weight, so those are 0.3. Retail on these $42 for a 4-pack, which is a pretty great price. I mean, I think that's in line with what a lot of heads are going for a pack of 3. So I think a pretty good value there. In summary, if you're looking for a fixed blade broadhead, I think Slick Tricks are hard to beat. There are other designs out there. There's some cool cut-on contacts or one-piece heads or whatever. If that's your preference, that's all well and good. I think from just a reliability, easy to swap out blades and get back to super sharp, good accuracy, good flight, great blood trails, I think a Slick Trick is pretty hard to lose with. Great price, sort of 4 for the price of 3, good penetration. Cons, I don't really know that I've got any. I again, with deer hunting, I currently seem to like the insurance with having a bit wider cut with a mechanical head. But if you do your part with shot placement, this head is not going to let you down. I'm confident of that. So for a fixed blade option, I think the Slick Trick is pretty hard to beat. I personally like the standard 100 grain, and that's the one that you're looking at here. I've never seen a reason to venture into any of the others. Hopefully the review's been helpful. Have a great bow season. If you want to see more American-made product reviews, please subscribe. Thanks. Have a great day.